I want to thank y'all for tuning in. Thank you, because you could have been anywhere else in the world, but you're here with me right now, and I thank you for that. First of all, I wanted to put my thoughts out on how things are going right now in the world before I got back into the regular flow of me doing my videos. I really just wanted to share my thoughts. I tried doing this for the last 3 days. I promise you. I might have about the last 3 days, because this is the third video. I started Sunday with my mother and talking with her. I just recorded what we was talking about. I just recorded our conversation a little bit, and it's been about 3 days of me trying to get my thoughts together, because I don't want to go up here and just say what I want to say and not have no solutions. So I guess this video is the solution. And like I said, it's taken 3 days, so I'm not going to edit them together. I'm just going to put each video up separately, and this is the third one. So hi, part 3. The solution. I don't claim to say I have the solution to it all. I'm not saying this is the victory or the vaccination that we need. I'm just saying this is my suggestion. Dr. Martin Luther King of Minister Malcolm X, when they marched with a purpose. It was a cause for them that they was marching with. They knew that if I walked over this bridge, we're gonna walk over this bridge because we're trying to get this done. Okay, it was civil, pretty much the same thing that was going on now, but intensified even greater. Okay, because we didn't have a chance, a voice. I'm saying we, as black people, we didn't have a voice like we have today. We didn't have the inherent freedoms that we have today back then. We didn't have that. And for them to march, they was marching for a purpose. They protested for a purpose. And if you don't believe me, why don't you just ask Reverend Al Sharpton and anyone else that was marching along those times? You just standing out there with a sign. What's the reason? Why are you there? Because I understand this is the reaction. Now here's the solution. What are you trying to get? What resolve are you trying to get? I hear you saying you want the police officers to get in this situation, but let's be honest. This problem is systemic. This is not a few handful of people in this system that has this mindset. It's not. This is a systemic issue, problem that begins from the top. Okay, it has been taught and explained and instilled and programmed into those that are willing to, okay, those that it's been instilled into their brain and given them, this is your liberties. I have these, you have these liberties. You have this shield that protects you, right? Because now they can't stand out as blatant as they did when they was during Dr. King's and Minister Malcolm's time. They can't stand out as blatant with the sheets over their head. They won't do that. Not today, they won't. They won't do that. Back then, they had no shame in doing that. Why? Because they knew every 90% of whatever politician and government official or police officer around was white and had they back. So it's not the same now. But since they can't be so obvious, well, let's just go up into something like this, like the police force, where we can still fulfill our agenda, right? Under the veil or under the disguise of being a protector, someone that services the community, not selective servicing. Okay? But the community, pretty much the policing system has been infected with a virus, and pretty much we need a vaccination for it. That's the problem. There is a virus of hatred and evilness that is in the system of policing, that is there to protect and serve, and also, yes, there are times where they are there to defend, okay, but not offend, okay? They're there to defend their community. I don't think any of us right now has the faith and enough to know that if something great was to go on, bigger than our community, that we run to our police officers to protect us. Nah, me, I ain't even gonna tell you where I'm gonna go. I know I got my mind on where I'm going. If things pop off the wrong way, I know exactly where I'm headed. The situation of this hatred, because that was sheer hatred in that man's eyes when he murdered Mr. Floyd. I'm gonna call it what I'm gonna say. What it's heartening to say it. It's hard for me to say that. I could not watch the entire. I did not watch the man's life. No, I don't. It's hard for me to see that because it affects me. I can't do it, yo. So, but I understand what happened. I don't have to see the action to know what the outcome was in this case. That was sheer hatred that was in that man's heart, in his being, right? There wasn't a concerned look in that man's eyes at all. Concerned about anybody doing anything to him there on scene or back at off scene. It doesn't matter. He wasn't concerned one bit. You could see that in his face. Wasn't a concern at all. All he wanted to do was take this opportunity to kill this man. That's all he was concerned with. And now y'all using the veil of his death to riot and steal. Too many nights of riots is by law, you have to put in military action. If you don't believe me, look it up. You might not find it, but by too many nights of rioting, vandalism, deaths, destruction of personal property, then the military has to step in. And whose fault is that? Can't blame it on the president. No, you have to blame it on your actions. So here's my solution. Why don't we shut down the internet? If we can break the internet for some little twerkity, for the twerk girls, twerk team. If we can shut down the internet for the twerk team, then why can't we shut down the internet for this? Now, I understand we like to have our fun and we like to, look at the things that we like to look at. All right? I'm not saying stop that forever, but I'm saying this is time to pay your tithes. How about we take some time and we all stay posting about an action that we need to have, or some kind of law. Keep posting, keep emailing our representatives in the area. I'm talking about everybody get on Zoom and just start pushing out. First of all, let's just everybody get on Zoom and brainstorm a solution. So many minds together in harmony to do this. We can come up with a solution that we can propose to the system. This is what we suggest. So when we go into protest, we can say this is what we suggest. We can protest to the right people and present them with our ideas of actions. So how about we just come together, Zoom, Facebook, Instagram, everything, anything possible, shut down. If it makes the internet crash, so be it. We did. That's one step. They noticing us now. That's when they gonna notice us. Then we come back. Once it's back up, we come back. We all form together. We all get together and we come up with some kind of solution. Well, here's some of my suggestions. What about this? make policy that if you have a certain number of excessive force charges, then you are terminated. I know at my jobs that I've had and have currently now, that if it's a 3-strike thing and I'm at will state, they don't need a reason to terminate me. But there is a 3-strike rule. You get that third strike, then you terminate it. Okay, let's let all those charges. If you get 3 charges, terminate you from having to do any police force at all. Yeah, you can go be a private eye. Yeah, you can do that. You can go be a security for somebody. But no, you cannot no longer be on the police force of any kind. If you've had any excessive force or hate crimes or whatever it called for, any kind of excessive force if there has been an excessive force and you have killed somebody, not wounded, but killed somebody, automatic prison time. These should be policies that I'm thinking that we should ask to incorporate into the process of hiring police officers. Then we need to do a little bit more of a psychological evaluation on some of these police officers. I know it's more expensive, but think about it. It'll be cheaper in the long run. If you can weed out these problems before it happened, because that kind of stress, these police officers also have PTSD. Believe it or not, it's the same thing. It's a war in their mind every day. And then seeing the stuff that they see as a police officer. I was an EMS tech, and I didn't want to see the stuff that they was telling me about. There is some kind of psychological damage that comes upon these, even if it's just from inside the system itself, because there's an enormous amount of pressure to put on somebody that doesn't desire to be as evil as but they want to keep their job. They like the position, whatever it might be. They might fall. We just need to have more psychological evaluations done on our armed forces. For real. And then secondly, why not send them through a training course that's military based? So if they can get some kind of military back, or maybe it should be some like the post office. I've always heard the only way you get into the post office is if you was military. Well, why can't they just, if you ain't military, if you ain't ex-military, then no, you can't be on the police force. Then you can see the reason to have an increase in police income. Because they have this training, this years of training and military training behind them. That's just some of my ideas. That's why I say if we all get together online and just flood the internet and make them pay attention to us by sending emails over and over and tweeting at them and sending mentions and with the solution. With the solution, not just tweeting at them. Hey, you know this wrong. That's not solving anything. We need to have solutions to the problem. We need to suggest solutions to the problem. If you don't have a solution for the problem, then you are part of the problem. If you're not willing to accept or even try to develop solutions for the problem, then you are part of the problem. All right, so that's just my words as a humble father, husband, son, brother. I just want to live and enjoy life. I want us all to live and enjoy the life that we have, the family that we have, the love that we have in our life. I would like for all of us to enjoy that. If you agree with what I said, I just want to hear. I want you to share this. I want you to share this with whomever you can, wherever you can, because I want to see people getting together and unifying on the internet and shutting down sites because we inundated them with so much information. For solutions, reasonable solutions, y'all. Let's let them know that we as a people, as one race, as the human race, can get together and make some solutions make and suggest. We can't make them because we are just the citizens, but we can suggest these to our politicians, our elected officials, if they're willing to hear our solutions, if they're willing to have some kind of solution done, then we can do that. But we can't do it by marching in the streets, because our intent is to be positive, but there are infiltrators within the ranks. And then when the opportunity presents itself, you can't be mad when people take the opportunity. You can say what you want, but somewhere back in your mind, you probably would, damn, man, I wish I would have seen that. Or I wish I would have been out there. But let me explain to you. This world is round. Whatever goes out comes back right back around. Trust me. A lot of karma is about to fall on a lot of people for their actions. And because they're using the veil of George Floyd's death, murder, man, it's their reason of being out here, and I'm standing for you. You're lying. Go home and sit down somewhere. Fathers, you have to talk to your boys. You have to talk with your boys, not to them. You have to talk with your boys and explain to them the importance of knowing what you're marching for. Because you could be just caught up in somebody's sadistic game. So let's not give them the upper hand. Let's figure out a way to do this online. Let's shut stuff down, y'all. Let's show them the power. I'm telling you, let's show them the power. This can go out worldwide. Send it to every and anybody that you can think of. And let's get together on this. Let's shut stuff down. Sitting right at home. Since they want us to be on lockdown, let's show them how we do. We adapt to our environment. So let's adapt, because we've seen in the past, I'm being honest, and y'all might not like it, but I don't care. Truth hurts. We've seen that marching alone does nothing until someone stands up and makes laws, puts laws into actions, then change comes. We're still going through the police brutality that Dr. King and them fought back in the day. But see, they fought for our civil rights. Now we have to fight for our citizen rights. But we have to fight for our rights as a citizen, to be treated as a citizen, as a human, when we are confronted or approached by, I don't want to say confronted, or when we are approached by the police force. And the police force cannot have an apprehensive nature about them when they approach a tall, strong, dominant looking statue of a figure black man and just automatically on hand just be nasty to him. You can calm him down. You can calm any man down. And the best way to calm anybody down is to be calm your damn self. Unless they own something. But be more empathetic when you are approaching anybody. Any and everybody. I just hope everyone stays safe. I really hope that we can see, because I love the fact that we are seeing police officers walk with the crowds. I would love to see the police officers that are not in uniform march with them. If you are really with them, show them your solidarity by joining the ranks of the peaceful protests in civilian clothes. Let them know that you are here with them, that you are marching with them. And if they are approached by the police, y'all can be the mediators between the two, because y'all are both the police and the civilians. So please, any police officers, if you see any peaceful protest that you don't mind being part of, please do it without having a uniform on, because when we see the uniform, or anybody that's not of the uniform, when we see that uniform, we automatically go into a defensive mindset. And I'm sorry it has to be that way. And I understand y'all feel that way too about us black people. I understand that. Sometimes we are what we are. We are a dominant kind of breed. But it doesn't mean that we are not human and we don't have the same human nature that you have. If you learn to compel to my human nature, then we can get along better for anybody. So if y'all can do that, man, that would be great. Share this and share it to anybody, because I got friends that's on the force and family members that's on the force. I would say this. I would tell them the same thing. So, look, stay safe. Stay with your family. Don't go out if you don't have to. Don't go out to protest if you don't have to. Please, I ask of you, figure out a way of protesting via the safety of your home. Trust me, it will make a difference. It will make a difference. A lot of people have made a difference in this world from the comfort of their own home in many different forms. So let's figure out that, y'all. I love you, each and every one of you, for just who you are, for no reason at all. To the next video.